Have you ever wondered what your favorite Disney villains would look like as teenagers? Imagine seeing Maleficent, Hades, and Ursula in the hallway of your school playing with Snapchat filters and fidget spinners. Thanks to some amazing artists, we're able to show you what some of the most popular bad guys would look like if they were your age. Make sure to keep watching until the end to see if Cruella de Vil kept her iconic white and black hairdo. Before we get started, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more Disney-related posts. Here are 10 Disney villains reimagined as teenagers. Maleficent. In the movie Sleeping Beauty, Maleficent is the dramatic antagonist who casts a curse on Princess Aurora after not being invited to the princess's christening. She is one of the original Disney villains and is easily identified thanks to her green-tinged skin and black horns. Her super cool special powers are mostly used to stir up trouble, and she is even able to turn herself into a dragon. As a teenager, however, this wicked sorceress looks nothing like her dragon-ness counterpart. With her Calvin Klein sports bra and Kylie Jenner pouts, the artist of the drawing really captured the essence of today's teenage generation. You can easily imagine her as the head cheerleader in school, dating the school's star football player, and living a picture-perfect life. She probably has more Instagram followers than the entire senior class combined. This yellow-eyed beauty isn't afraid of standing out and rocks her horned beach wave look effortlessly. Although she may look intimidating, Mal, as her friends call her, has not yet been hardened by the world. We all remember being scared of the original Maleficent in the movie, but this teenage version is a bubbly social butterfly. Are you also a self-proclaimed selfie queen? Yzma. The Emperor's New Groove's Yzma was a chemist for Emperor Kuzco's family for many years. It is even suggested that she was the one who raised Kuzco, which may be the reason behind his entitled and vain behavior. Upon getting fired from her job as his administrator, the power-hungry Yzma devised a plan to take over the throne. However, her plan goes awry when her supposedly deadly potion accidentally turns the Emperor into a llama instead. You would never guess that this mad scientist's teenage self would look as sweet as honey, but that's how artist Jack Overland and Frost 315 reimagined her. With her bright, white smile and friendly eyes, she looks nothing like her oddball future self. You can envision teenage Yzma as the head of the PETA Club at school, advocating for animal rights and protecting against the cafeteria's refusal to provide vegan-friendly meals. She would be a straight-A student with plans to go to an Ivy League school after high school. A kind soul with a group of tight-knit friends, Yzma doesn't care much for popularity and is more focused on her future career as a chemist. She is hoping to use chemistry to change the world and won't stop until she reaches that goal. Hades. We all know Hades to be the hilarious, quick-tempered god of the underworld from the movie Hercules. He is the ultimate ruler of his part of the world and rarely has his authority challenged. But stealing Meg's soul threw Hades onto Hercules' radar, and that brawl ended with the underworld trapped forever inside the river Styx, surrounded by thousands of lost souls. He always seemed to be so confident in the movie, and that is exactly how artist Crescent Lady portrays him as a teenager too. You can see in her drawing that he has a bouquet of roses behind his back that he's going to surprise his love interest with. Teenage Hades is clearly a hopeless romantic at heart. He spends the majority of his time in class daydreaming and writing heartfelt poems instead of listening to what the teacher is saying. He is the kind of sweet soul who will give you his jacket if you're cold and open the car door for you on a date. Don't let his small stature and geeky looks fool you. This young Dark Lord is a master flirt and is the charming hunk of the school. It makes you wonder what could have possibly have gone wrong in his life to make him want to switch over to the villain life. The Wicked Stepsisters. Cinderella is the ultimate Disney princess movie because it proves that anyone, regardless of the family they were born into, can be a princess. Poor Cinderella had a rough start growing up with an evil stepmother and even eviler stepsisters. But in the end, karma came back around to get them. When the prince was looking for the princess who had left her glass slipper behind his ball, both Anastasia and Drizella enthusiastically tried to force their huge feet into the shoe. They were absolutely flabbergasted when it turned out to be Cinderella's glass slipper, and she was declared to be the prince's one true love. Now, if these two sisters went to your high school, they'd probably be two girls that you'd want to stay really far away from, constantly fighting and competing with one another. It would be exhausting to be in the same class as them. Just hearing their high-pitched voices and entitled brattiness would give you a migraine. These sisters would spend their days bragging about the fancy family vacations they went on and complaining about how unfair it is that their mom won't let them get their bellies pierced because everyone already has it done. Do yourself a favor and run in the other direction if these wicked stepsisters ever show up at your school. Shan Yu. Shan Yu is one of the least popular villains ever created by Disney. Part of the ruthless Hun's troupe in Mulan, he is actually a bit too harsh and evil for our liking. The only redeeming fact about him is that he went out with a bang, literally. During the movie's final fight scene, Mulan launched an enormous rocket at him, which blew him off the roof and turned him into a dazzling firework display. Now, we wouldn't want to befriend the adult version of this Hun's warrior, but Ginger Sketch's teenage version of him seems way more approachable. With his falcon in tow, Shan Yu's presence at school may make a few people feel uncomfortable, but he doesn't care. He's just interested in passing all his classes and graduating so that he can finally fulfill his lifelong dream of becoming the world's greatest falcon trainer. Keeping mostly to himself, he spends his time in school trying to figure out how to explain to his parents that he won't go on to the university next year. The few times that you'll cross paths with him will ultimately always end up with a conversation about birds. But hey, at least the boy is passionate about something. Ursula. Before she convinced Ariel to trade her beautiful voice for the chance to become human, Ursula was quite the charming villain in The Little Mermaid. Dazzling us with her star-quality rendition of poor, unfortunate souls, she's able to manipulate even us into trusting her. However, this envious sea witch was not able to completely convince Prince Eric. He ended up saving Ariel by impaling Ursula and letting her drift far away into the ocean. This gorgeous fan art by ex-Lexi Russo, too, of Ursula as a teenager is probably one of our favorite transformations so far. You can practically feel the youthful energy spilling out of her. Clearly an 80s queen, teenage Ursula is the kind of girl who loves to live in the past. Her closet mostly consists of her mom's high school clothes, and she is a master of vintage thrifting. Her favorite artists are Blondie, Cyndi Lauper, and Tina Turner, and she listens to their music on her dad's old-school record player. This sea queen is definitely one of the most effortlessly cool girls in school, and she seems to attract new friends without even trying. On her days off from school, you can find her at the beach working on her inviolable purple glow. Scar. Have you ever wondered what the Lion King's villain Scar would look like as a human? In the movie, Scar is a heartless lion who wants to be king of the Pride Lands. He is so power-hungry that he betrays his own brother Mufasa for the throne. The thirst for power backfires on him in the end, and he gets knocked off a cliff by his nephew Simba and is trampled by a herd of wild hyenas. This human version of Scar, created by artist Chatham, has all the bad boy vibes of his lion counterpart. Teenage Scar spends a lot of his time at school in detention or in the principal's office. It's not his fault though. Other kids just won't stop asking him how he got that scar on his face. He's also not too popular with his teachers because he refuses to wear a shirt in class. But he is a favorite amongst the girls, and he basks in the attention that he gets from them. His exotic green eyes, long black hair, and grisly voice make them swoon. It's no wonder that all the other boys are jealous of him. Can you blame him though? He's perfect. Kronk. Kronk is Ozma's lovable and sometimes evil sidekick in The Emperor's New Groove. He has an angel and a devil on his shoulder that help him make his moral decisions. Truly a sensitive soul, Kronk seems only to live the villain life because he's not quite bright enough to stand up to Ozma's cruel ways. This dim-witted henchman actually succeeds in breaking free from his wicked master's grasp at the end of the movie and ends up forcing her to join his junior chipmunk club. This younger version of Kronk, drawn by artist Young 86, is a perfect representation of his goofy self. With his huge frame and bulging muscles, teenage Kronk is definitely the captain of the high school football team. He never had the studious brain of an academic and instead bribes his classmates to do his homework so that he can focus on playing football. Kronk has been a loyal member of the Junior Chipmunks his entire life and is finally old enough now to become a group leader. Although he is a jock, Kronk is not at all embarrassed by the fact that he can speak squirrel and instead loves sharing the language with his fellow classmates whenever he can. Hans. We all remember Hans as the Prince Charming who turned out to be not so charming in the movie Frozen. Initially a loyal and dashing love interest to Princess Anna, he refuses to save her frozen heart with an act of true love and instead admits his evil master plan to take over Arendelle through marriage. His plan is trumped, however, when Elsa and Anna's act of true love as sisters reverses the deep freeze on Anna's heart. She ends up punching Hans in the face and he is imprisoned for being a traitor. We have to admit that it was very satisfying to see Anna exact her revenge on his smug face. This youthful version of Hans by artists Punziella seems just as charming and beautiful as the original. You probably wouldn't see him around your school anytime soon because he obviously goes to a private school for boys only. Growing up with a silver spoon in his mouth, Hans is used to all the finer things that life has to offer. He's only 17 years old, but he already drives a BMW. Don't be too jealous though. His life of grandeur is thanks to his busy parents that never had time for him while he was growing up. No wonder he's so messed up. Cruella. Probably the most memorable villain of all time, 101 Dalmatians' Cruella de Vil is definitely our favorite evil mastermind. Her obsession with fur, especially spotted fur, is what made her steal Perdita and Pongo's 15 Dalmatian puppies. Her plan to turn the puppies into fur coats was foiled when Perdita and Pongo, along with some animal friends, were able to find the puppies and save them from ultimate doom. Artist Kristen Reeves decided to keep Cruella's iconic black and white hair in her reimagined teenage version of the Fur Queen. Young Cruella was probably voted as best dressed in her high school yearbook last year. Her passion for fashion led her to start an online fashion and beauty blog, which already has a huge following. She's even now trying her hand at creating makeup tutorials for YouTube. Still in high school, Cruella is one busy young entrepreneur, but she still hopes to launch a makeup line this upcoming year. She is a whirlwind of creative energy that cannot be stopped. Her parents don't mind though. They just wish that she'd stop trying to put black spots on every white piece of clothing that they own. But it's not her fault that the black and white look is so in right now. That's it for our 10 Disney villains reimagined as teenagers. Which teenage villain was your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one.